Welcome back to the Girl Cave. Today I have the last card for the Play, Make, and Share mini hop for you. And I think you're going to like it. So this is what I am doing. I have my scraps of paper that I have cut into the size that I use for my card bases, which, if you remember from the first video, they're 5 1/4 by 4, and that way when I place them on top of a card, an A2 card, it has a 1/8 of an inch around it, and they fit perfectly into the A2 envelopes. I have several of my smaller scraps. I already cut them into rectangles and squares just to square them up. And now I'm gonna take that, and I have one that's patterned, and I have a lot of solid scraps. So my solid scraps, I've gone and I have run them through my embossing folders. So these purple and yellow, I have the little star embossed. And this will make 2 cards. Then I had this beautiful green pattern paper. So I chose 2 solid greens and I embossed the Swiss dots. And this will make 2 other cards. And then I found this piece of scrap that already had this decorative edge. So I cut out a little bracket at the end, and I'm gonna show you how I do this. I already have a sample. I love to have samples, see, messy, because it makes things easier if you already have something created and you're just quickly tracing and cutting it. So there's several ways you can do this. If you have the Kiwi Link templates, then you just trace one and keep it as a sample. If you don't, you can find an image of a bracket online and print it out on heavyweight scrapbook paper and then cut out the lines and keep it as a sample. Or take very thin paper. This one is smaller, but I'm just going to show you. And then in the middle, go ahead and make a V. Just draw a letter V. And then fold it so that this portion of the V is right in the middle. And that way you fold it like that, crease it, and then you just draw a little swoop right there to reach the top of that V. And when you cut it out, fold it, they're gonna be even on both sides. You might have to make a few just to get it where you like it. And then once you have that on flimsy paper, take a little bit more sturdier paper and trace that little shape and keep that as your sample. So now whenever I want to make a card in this shape, like I had, this was a complete rectangle, I just placed it on top of it and I traced my curve, and then I cut it out with scissors. So I already have this. I'm going to keep that edge just like that. I like to use my scraps just as they are and play with them. I also had this die cut. For some reason, the edge was cut off, but you know what? It's going to be perfect if I place it right on the edge of the card. And then I'm going to show you, I have something else that I do with my scraps, especially the solid ones. I will take one day and all I do is run scraps through my die cut machine. And then I keep them in little baggies. So these are leaves. And look how cute this would be. Look how cute. Imagine I put this on very low profile adhesive. And then I can place that right there. Move it just right there. I can do that. And then put my sentiment here or here. I can take the smaller leaves that I punch and just tuck them in there. And again, I think I would place some low profile adhesive on this. And that way I can do my sentiment here. I can do my sentiment there. It just adds a little bit of something. And you know what? It didn't take that much time. Because if you have your scraps already cut into squares and rectangles and you already have a whole bunch of little punched things, it goes by quickly. This one, I'm gonna cut the strips into 1 1/4, and they're gonna look like this. So I take my base and I cut it using my template. This one is already pattern paper, so this one's gonna be a lot easier, but I can take a smaller piece. Notice this is a lot smaller than that. And now I'm gonna take my papers and I'm gonna cut them into strips, 1 1/4 inch strips. And I'm gonna place them right there, line them up like that. And these again were solid, so I ran them through my embossing folders. This one is kind of a floral. This one is either bricks or basket weaves. I think if I place it on this side, it looks more masculine because it almost looks like metal. But if I place it on this side, it's more of a basket weave. So just play around with them. And look, that was Christmas paper. Just let me get that out of the way so you can see it. And then you just adhere them to that. I have one that's gears and one that is hexagons. I'm not sure which one I want to use. So I'm going to place them both there. I think I like this one better, the hexagons. So I'm going to tape these there. Let me do that right now so you can see. And this is smaller, and that's fine because I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I want the darker one first. Let me see. Ooh, I like it like this. Okay, so I'm gonna place it like so. And it's okay if it goes beyond that paper because I cut it smaller. And now that these 3 are set, now I'm gonna place my sample on the back. And I can draw the line with a pencil and then cut it out, and it will be in this shape. It will look just like that. And then you take a big element, whether it's a die cut, a sticker, or what have you, and you place it right on top. Do a little bit of dimension just to give it some visual interest. I have this little folder. I keep some die cuts in shapes that I normally use. Quite often I have some stars. They're already cut there. I have more circles. I have some big leaves, some hearts. So I will go through this and I will pick something for that card. Something else that I wanted to share with you that you can do if you don't want to do the embossing. I have the same pieces of paper. And again, I'm going to place them on this. Just adhere them to this. And get them real close to each other. I'm going with this color. And now for this one, since I did not use the embossing folder and I want to have some visual interest, I'm going to take a background stamp and I'm going to stamp an image right on that. And then I'm going to trace out my shape and cut it out and place it on a card front. Several options. I will show you pictures of the finished cards, so come back. And I hope that you had a blast during International Scrapbooking Weekend, and come back again next week because I'm going to share with you my Through the Rainbow layout. And for the month of May, it's the color yellow, and it's gonna be absolutely beautiful. Don't forget to leave a comment so that you can enter to win some of my cards, and also visit the other ladies that are participating in the Play, Make, and Share hop. Bye.